Good evening, friends. Welcome back to Bountifully Blessed. My name is Becky, and I wanted to pop on here and tell you that it's okay to have failure in the garden. I have had so much fun trying this cool new idea. Well, what I thought was a new idea. I guess they actually sell some cool garden bags that you can hang up onto your fence or your like on your patio, your fences, your I guess anywhere that you could plant a vertical garden. And anyways, I didn't discover that until after. I thought this was such a good idea, and it's turned out to not be as awesome as I thought it was going to be, and that's okay. I'm okay with failure. It's when I don't try that it's not worth it to me. I would rather try and fail than not try and have a really cool idea that could be totally awesome and be amazing and work for everyone. But that's why it's fun to be able to try new ideas. So if you're not familiar with my videos on the shoe organizing garden, I originally had started out with this one here, and it didn't hold enough water. It drained so insanely quickly, I could not keep any water in here. And then we started this one, and I was so excited because I originally was trying to avoid using this particular one because it is plastic, and I was afraid that the sun would burn it, or I don't know, it just wouldn't hold up the same way. This one seemed a lot more durable. Well, our first attempt turned out to be a bust because this didn't hold enough water, and I couldn't keep anything watered enough. I would have had to be out here with a constant form of water going into it for it to be successful. Now this one, I have not been able to really update you on it because I've been kind of watching some things happen, and it was really exciting because I actually did have some seedlings start to sprout. It was retaining so much more water in this particular shoe organizer. It was retaining really good moisture except for on the top inch. And I thought that if I could mulch it or add some form of, I don't know, paper towel, anything that could help retain some moisture, didn't end up working. And I was just coming out here and watering a little bit more frequently. I didn't need to water it too much because I was trying to see if I could germinate the seeds in this particular situation. So I was successful on a couple of little things. I did have a couple of my lettuce seedlings come up. I got some pictures, was really excited, and then I came out the next day and my seedling had died. And I was like, okay, well, what happened? Well, lo and behold, I did not realize how bad this was. But because it was retaining moisture, you can actually see in the camera here, you can see this top layer where it wasn't retaining moisture because the heat was baking down on it. But I discovered it started to get extremely moldy and green, and everything that was starting to grow was dying. So I wanted to kind of show you an example here of some fish. So here just looks like water until you get up close. There's all this brown and green, and yeah, it's not good. So it made a lot of sense why my seedling died, because it's got all kinds of nastiness up in here because this has retained moisture so well, and probably because honestly it's been baking in the sun. It turned out to be a total bust, and that's okay. I was so worried about that top layer that the rest of it didn't even get looked at. And it's amazing to me how each pouch has lots and lots and lots of like what looks like rust. I don't actually know what this yellowing or orange coppery color is coming from, but it's moldy, and yeah, it's not. That's okay. I wasn't relying on this. It was more of a fun experiment. And take one, we know, is a bust. That's okay. I think if I could figure out how to put something in here to help retain moisture, we would be totally on par. But this one here, it's gonna kill anything that I put in it because it's moldy and rusty is the way it looks. But that's okay, because now I can try something else fun and exciting and new. This didn't cost a lot to try. And I actually, during this process, was looking up some different ideas, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty smart when I thought of this idea. But I discovered that Amazon has these really cool looking, like garden bag style, but to hang up like this. And I was like, but that was my idea. But that's okay, because obviously someone else thought of a better idea. I don't know if they work. If anyone's interested, I'm happy to link those in the description box. But at the end of the day, if you don't try, then you're not going to even know if you could make something wonderful happen. So I want to encourage you, be okay with the failure, because failure isn't really failure. Because if I didn't try, I wouldn't know that these things wouldn't turn out the way I expected them to. And now I have a fun experiment that didn't turn out the way I had hoped. But at the end of the day, if I hadn't tried, then it would have already been a failure, because I wouldn't know if it was successful. So I encourage you to be okay with the failure of anything that you do. If you garden, if you don't garden, regardless of what it is in your life that maybe you're struggling with failure, be okay and embrace the failure, because it means that you tried. It doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you tried. And that's what's more important than anything, because if you don't take the shot, then you can't be successful because you don't know if it was successful. So I'll quit rambling on, but I wanted to give you an update on that. And I'm actually excited to try and grow some lettuce in my little greenhouse in my apartment. So that will be fun and easy, because I won't have to worry about bugs. Not the same way, but I digress. Have a wonderful evening. Until next time.